Hi, my name is John Fund, and I'm from Michigan, and I'm with the Future City competition. I'm a fifth grade school teacher in elementary, and our Future City competition has to deal with bringing an engineer to your school. Engineer will mentor your students in the process from start to finish. And we want to share with you a PowerPoint presentation. I also want to introduce Dr. Linda Gerhardt, our mentor engineer.
Thanks, Don. Can you cue the PowerPoint, please? Okay, yeah, I am Linda Gerhardt, and I'm an engineer at General Motors, and I'm the global lead for paint quality. But for the past 7 years, I've been the engineer mentor for the Future City program at St. John. And there's some pictures over on the, I guess, your left. That is John and myself at Space Camp with some students we had here last year. And we were here for International Space Camp, and you're in for a real treat.
Yeah. So if you can get the lights for us a little bit, that'll help too. All right, keep on going. So what's kind of cool is that my first time at Space Camp as an adult was just last year. And this was the team. We got to meet first ever the Teachers of the Year, the international teachers as well. And we got a picture of our team. We were on Harmony last year, I believe, right?
That's right.
And then we brought 3 students. In our competition, there's 3 students that present a 7-minute presentation in your region or your state, and then they advance to Washington, D.C. if they win. And our 3 students came last year and really enjoyed Space Camp, and then, well, go from there.
Okay, next slide. So how the competition works is you have a regional competition. In North America, there are 38 regions. We're the Michigan region. And if you win your regional competition, you get to advance to nationals, and St. John itself has a pretty rich program in Future City. We've been, about last year actually, it was 9th time out of 16 times that we advanced to nationals and competed in Washington, D.C. So this was our team last year, and the 3 presenters, Rebecca, Paul, and Justin, were the students that were at Space Camp.
So in 2014, what happened was we got into the top 5. And then once you get to the top 5, you're allowed to give your presentation to the General Assembly like this, but a little bit bigger. And after we got into the top 5, we...
Oh, you missed something there. Can you go back just...
Well, there's a picture that would go down below it. And we got into the top 2. And as you know, when they announce the second place and you're not in it, then you know you're in first, so... I started a program. I was volunteered into the program about 19 years ago or so, and this was the first time that we stuck with it. And Dr. Gerhardt has been with us now, 7 years, and so we had the opportunity to not only win in Washington, D.C. We took over $7,000 for our STEM program, and then a trip to Space Camp for our engineer, teacher, and our 3 presenters.
So a little bit about Future City. It's a national program for 6th through 8th graders to imagine and build cities of the future. And it includes several parts: a virtual simulation, research essay on an annual topic, a scale model of a future city made out of recycled materials, and then a presentation before regional judges in January. If you win the region, you get to go to Washington, D.C. and compete nationally, and if you win nationals, you get to go to Space Camp. And so that's why we were there last year. The program itself, 40,000 students compete, representing 1,350 schools and then 38 regions. So we were very fortunate last year to take it to the top.
Then the program is broken down into various things. One is the SimCity simulation game. The students really enjoy playing that. Each year they have you research an essay. What you have to do is you have to develop a city 150 years into the future. And so they might ask you, we want you to brainstorm what transportation will be like 150 years from now, or communication, education, agriculture. There's a city narrative, which is kind of, like what's the beautiful amenities of your city. Then you build a scale model, about 4 feet by 2 feet or so, with all sorts of recycled parts and moving parts. And then you do a 7-minute presentation before a group of judges, engineers.
So we have a couple pictures of some of the models that we've created over the years. This was a model from 2008 and 2009, so you can see the engineering challenge that year was water conservation. And we placed that city in New Orleans, and this was a Michigan Regional Championship model that went to nationals.
So if you look at it, you can look for different recycled things that are in there. So we're always, right now, we're always collecting people's garbage, kind of. We're taking apart computers and old VHS and anything that somebody wants to give us. We actually have parties at the school now. I give the kids tools, and we reverse engineer. It's fun.
Next slide, please. So this was the next year. This was a year we actually, unfortunately, did not make it to nationals. And this was a team that finished second place in Michigan. You can see a lot of trophy parts. And this city was located in St. Augustine, Florida, and that topic was emergency housing.
So again, we're pretending what it was going to be like 150 years from now. We thought that a tsunami was probable and possible, and so the city was designed to withstand a tsunami.
Next slide, please. So the following year, we actually recreated Detroit, and if you look close there, you can see the Renaissance Center, which is on the waterfront of the Detroit River. And this was a Michigan Regional Champion model that went to nationals and placed in the top 5 nationally. And that topic was medical device and location Detroit. Next slide, please. So this was a whole different look. We placed a city in Hawaii on the north coast of Molokai. The topic was renewable energy, and we actually had a lunar colony that's built into that mountain there. So the model would spin around, and you could see the moon, and you could see Hawaii. And this was, again, another model that made it to nationals.
What we ended up doing was we kept brainstorming with the students, and we would bring, we're in the north of Detroit area, where the headquarters for Chrysler is there. GM Tech Center is there where Dr. Gerhardt works. We ended up working with parents to help us in terms of art, in terms of modeling and electrical circuitry, moving parts and those kind of things. But what's cool about this is we got to the point that we realized we could rotate the city with a small Lazy Susan. So during a 7-minute presentation, we sequenced it in that we could rotate ultimately all 4 sides of the model. So they were hidden on the right-hand side as a cavern, and if you looked inside, you'd see the lunar colony. So we went to the moon as well.
Okay, next slide, please. So we're getting a little bit closer now. This was a model from 2012 to 2013, and we finished in the top 6 that year. Topic was stormwater management. We placed that city in Martinique. So we have a volcano on the side of the model. Next slide.
Hang on. So
okay.
go back to that one. So we took the stormwater runoff, we ran it into the earth at geothermal, turned it into steam, and then created power that way. Again, if you rotated the model over to your left, then you'd look inside and you'd see the core of the volcano and how we accessed the geothermal.
Okay. And finally, we have last year's national championship model, and this was placed in China near Guilin, and the topic was transportation. So these are the models from the past. So if you go to the next slide, so we won the national championship. We went to Space Camp, and we started all over again in September. And this is our team for this year. We had a bigger team, biggest team ever. We had 24 students. And we again won Michigan. It was the 10th time out of 17 years and the 5th consecutive year. And so then we went to Washington. And we found ourselves in the top 5 again. And I hope this works, but then there's another slide that should work. Oh, no. Well, so we found ourselves in the top 2, and then they announced that the second place team was Texas. And then we knew that we had won back-to-back national championships. And I want to invite the girls. They're here, actually. Leah, Emily, and Abby. So they're going to be enjoying Space Academy this week while we're enjoying spending time with the educators from all over the country and all over the world. And I think the last slide is just a summary. You girls can stay here. Oh, no, this is our model from this year. And this year's topic was urban agriculture. We placed our city in Haiti near Jacmel. And you can see all kinds of cool lipstick containers and mascara tubes and things of that sort. And
yeah.
Next slide.
Kind of what was cool about this too is we rotated again, and we had all 4 sides, but on left and right at a 45-degree angle, we put a mirror-type material so that the city reflected into itself. And you got a kind of a dimensional look. And then you could rotate to the left and to the right, and then back behind it.
I think our final slide just kind of summarizes that we were shocked, we were humbled, and we're excited to be back. And there's the girls with the trophy. There's a short little clip from ABC News that came and taped a little piece right after the girls lifted the trophy. Hopefully it works.
And the first place in the 2014-2015 Future City competition goes to Michigan.
So maybe you'll get inspired about the Future City program for middle school students from 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. As a 5th grade teacher, I bring in the 5th graders, and they spend a whole year trying to figure it out.
This project. We wanted to show what urban agriculture could do to a devastated country. I've never been into this space stuff, but I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, kind of like what Leah said, I just want to see what happens.
I love space.
Thank you.